You can also find me at The Dark Invader / Cinemax at night.
Okay. I was like, what? Do you know what time it is? Welcome to the Legacy of Nerd. My name is Daniel, and I am at Kadabracon in Portland, Texas, and I am joined here today with the legendary Red Ranger from Turbo, but also Blue Ranger for In Space, Selwyn Ward. How you doing, man?
I'm great. How are you?
Thank you. Oh, I'm doing great, man. I had a lot of fun here at Kadabracon, hanging out with the Turbo Rangers, the In Space Rangers. It's been super fun, man. So my first question for you was, what was it like when you first heard that you were going to be the first African-American Red Ranger and taking over for Tommy as well?
Well, it's a lot of levels to it, because initially it was just, when I was cast, I was supposed to be green. They were looking for an African-American green for the Green Ranger. Okay. And so a fun fact is when I went to the final, well, actually, I don't think I wore, okay, yeah. When I went to the final interview with a producer, I actually wore red. So I took ownership of that, but I think the initial shock was just getting the role, period. Yeah. Like I didn't, at that point, I wasn't thinking anything about race or anything. It was just the fact that I got the role, number one, and that I am replacing Jason. And to speak to that, I know it was big shoes to be filled, and I think the best choice I made was just to make it my own and not try to be Jason and do things like Jason. And then number three, how's it feel to be the first black leader of the Power Rangers? Amazing. And so I'm sure you've seen the skit with Black Nerd. So what was interesting to me is when it happened, there really wasn't much press around it at all. Like, I thought it was very cool. Yeah. And I thought it'd be like a big deal, and it never really was. So we ended up doing that skit that you saw, and that's what kind of gave it the plug and kind of gave it the momentum. So I'm glad we did it, because it's important. It's important for, you know, all little kids of whatever ethnicity and even gender identification to have some role models and, you know, heroes that they can look up to, that they can relate with. Yeah, I mean, and obviously it's really important in Power Rangers history, continuing to this day. So it's definitely an awesome thing that you are our Red Ranger. Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir. So In Space continues to be such an important season. What is it like 25 years later, where people still come up and talk to you about Power Rangers in Space? I would have never thought I'd be doing it, not only 25 years later, but even a couple of years later. I didn't think I'd be doing this. So it's amazing. I think, you know, when it comes to Rangers, a lot of the actors talk about it not being, you know, SAG, or we didn't get paid well. Well, this is kind of where we get paid, where we're able to get out, get around the country, get around the world, and talk to fans and learn about the impact that you had on their lives. I mean, it's amazing. I would have never thought I'd be doing this, but I feel really blessed to be able to be doing it. And it's really special for like fans like me to be able to meet you, meet the other Rangers, but I appreciate you coming out here and meeting us, so I thank you for that. Sure. So you were one of the few to come back for Forever Red. What was it like filming Forever Red and the experience of it? It was great. And since doing Forever Red, I had been most recently Blue. It was great to come back and kind of, you know, be Red. Yeah. One of my favorite moments is really meeting Austin St. John. I felt like when I was on the show, he was a bit of a mystery man. Like, he was off the grid. Nobody knew where he was. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of cool to actually meet him and work again with Jason Frank, of course. And one other interesting thing is that on set, everybody was cool. It wasn't like everybody was trying to one-up each other or had a chip on their shoulder. You know, it was more like a fraternity, like old friends. So I thought that was really cool. Kind of felt like a brotherhood. That's awesome. And Forever Red continues to be like really important. Like, everyone has a Forever Red displays, and there will always be TJ right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Holding it down. Looking back at both your seasons and episodes, which episode, or even just season in general, kind of stands out more to you? Turbo, just because it was my first experience, and just it's almost like having your first bike or your first toy that you ran into the ground, you know, but you still love it. So I would say Space, sentimental value. Do you have a favorite episode that you can come to mind? Space, Turbo. Turbo, yes, for the sentimental value. Just the newness of it, freshness of it, the excitement of it. I really like Turbo. I know
back then there was like questions about it, but like looking back, that was the best Zords. I love the Turbo Zords. The best Morpher. I told him off camera the Morpher call for Turbo is my absolute favorite Morpher call of shifting to Turbo, and the whole. It's complex. It's a whole thing, but it's my favorite. So
yes, that's it.
Do you have a favorite episode that comes to mind? That kind of thing.
For which one?
How about Turbo? Say Turbo.
Wheels of Fate is one of my favorites. When I tamed the car in I can think of the name, but Wheels of Fate when I tamed the car, that was a lot of fun. It was an episode that kind of focused around my character.
Yeah.
I felt I got to use a lot of my natural abilities, running, doing some stunts, little stunts, and drive the car kind of crazy. I don't know if you remember, but I ended up Bulk had to fall face first into cement because I almost hit him. So anyway, but that was a lot of fun.
I remember watching that scene and remember thinking it is spliced so much, but there's so much American footage in that section.
Yeah.
I was like, did he really like chase that car?
Yeah,
did he really like jump in it and get the seatbelt on?
All of that was done by me. That's why it's kind of cool.
That's intense,
dude.
It was fun. I had no idea. So Hasbro calls you and they tell you that we want you to write a Power Ranger story about TJ. What story would you tell?
I mean, what age range? Are we saying still that age range? TJ now?
So I would say whatever you think, but we'll simplify it. How about TJ now?
TJ now, a storyline. I guess, one of my ideas was when they had the second African-American Red Ranger. I can't think of the season, but if anything, I always thought I could come back as maybe that father figure or a mentor, maybe high school teacher that's also the baseball coach, or maybe I always want to put it with baseball because CJ loved baseball, but maybe even like a college baseball coach, but maybe this is his son or one of his players that's now the new Red Ranger.
So that's really interesting.
Helping them take that on.
The next African American Red Ranger was an SPD, and so that was based in the future. So that would have made complete sense right there.
I told him when I saw it, I'm like, why'd you tell me? I would have loved it, did some cameo or had some kind of connection.
Now, this is just a little fun question for me because I'm nerdy. Red Turbo TJ versus Blue In Space TJ. Who would win?
Let me think. I mean, I don't know. It would be very, very, very close, I think, but the edge might go with OG Red, OG Red is just gritty. He's hungry.
Unpredictable.
He ain't giving up. He's coming at you. He's jumping in the Megazord and jumping in the cockpit to fight people. Like he's chasing you into space. Like you don't mess around.
That's awesome. Well, Selwyn Ward, we are at Kadabracon. It is Saturday. We'll be here Sunday as well.
Yes,
what is your next appearance?
Say hello. Next appearance, I'm going to be YumaCon in Detroit, and then also I have Orlando Ranger Stop coming.
Awesome. And they can follow you at?
They can follow me at the official Selwyn Ward Instagram.
Well, I want to thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. It's been an honor to meet you, an honor to talk to you. Thank you so much.
You can also find me at The Dark Invader / Cinemax at night.
Okay. I was like, what? All right, that's going to be at the beginning to sell you into the whole video. All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks.
Go good.
All righty then.